You reached the position. You achieved the goals. You checked the boxes you were told would matter. From the outside, it looks like success. But inside, something feels wrong. You're not falling apart. You're functioning. You get up. You perform. You meet expectations. And yet, there's a quiet absence you can't explain. The view from the top is impressive, but something inside you feels strangely hollow. Carl Jung believed this moment is not a failure. He believed it is a psychological turning point. A moment when the strategies that once worked stop working. Not because they were wrong, but because they have completed their task. This is what we can call the success paradox. The more successful your external life becomes, the more empty your inner life can feel. Not because success is bad, but because success is built by a part of you that cannot provide meaning. That part is the ego. The ego is not your enemy. It is the part of you that learned how to survive, how to compete, how to achieve. It learned how to adapt to the world, how to earn approval, how to build security. In the first half of life, the ego is essential. It helps you establish yourself. It gives you direction. It builds structure. But Carl Jung discovered something critical. The ego is very good at achievement, and very poor at fulfillment. It understands progress. It understands comparison. It understands winning. What it does not understand is meaning. So when the ego finally gets what it has been chasing, it reaches the end of its map. There is nowhere left to go. And when movement stops, the emptiness begins. Modern success is almost always built for the persona. Carl Jung called the persona the social mask. The version of you that functions in society. The version that performs roles. The version that fits expectations. There is a persona for work. A persona for leadership. A persona for being reliable, strong, impressive. The persona is not fake. It is necessary. Without it, society would not function. But the problem begins when the persona becomes your identity. From a very young age, you learned what was rewarded. Being productive, being composed, being ambitious, being useful. And slowly, you learned which parts of yourself were acceptable and which were not. Traits that didn't fit the image of success were pushed aside. Playfulness, sensitivity, uncertainty, spontaneity, doubt. Not because they were wrong, but because they were inconvenient. To succeed, you learned to suppress them. And over time, you became very good at performing. And very disconnected from yourself. Carl Jung saw this pattern again and again. People who were admired by others, but felt strangely absent inside. Their lives were functional. Their inner world felt empty, busy, productive, successful, yet hollow. Jung understood why. The ego had built a powerful external structure, but the inner world had been neglected. And the psyche does not tolerate imbalance forever. This is where the shadow enters. Under the persona is everything you were taught not to be. Carl Jung called this the shadow. The shadow contains the traits you learned were unacceptable. Your anger, your jealousy, your selfishness, your desire for power, your ambition, your vulnerability. These traits did not disappear. They were buried. And buried traits do not die. They wait. They gather energy. They return indirectly. This is why highly successful people often experience sudden inner disruption, unexplained irritation, emotional numbness, outbursts that feel out of character, self-sabotage just when things are going well. The shadow does not disrupt you because it is evil. It disrupts you because it has been ignored. Jung made an important distinction here. A person who has no access to their aggression is not peaceful. They are harmless. And harmlessness is not wholeness. To be whole, you must be capable of intensity, without being ruled by it. The tragedy of modern success is that it often requires you to amputate parts of yourself in order to climb. To be the successful professional, you may have buried your creativity. To be the strong leader, you may have buried your vulnerability. To be efficient, you may have buried your curiosity and play. These buried parts become the shadow. And here is the paradox. The very traits you suppressed to succeed are the ones you need to feel alive once you arrive. This is why success can feel like a cage. Beautiful on the outside, airless on the inside. Carl Jung observed that when people reach this stage, they often panic. Some try to fix the emptiness with more achievement, a bigger goal, a higher position, more money. But the emptiness grows. Others try to escape. They destroy relationships, quit careers impulsively, disappear. Jung understood these actions as unconscious attempts to force psychological transformation, a forced death of the ego. But destruction is not the solution. Reorientation is. Jung believed the first half of life is about building the ego. The second half is about relating to the self. The self, in Jung's work, is the organizing center of the whole psyche. It is larger than the ego, older than the persona, deeper than ambition. When the ego believes it is the center of your life, everything becomes fragile. Your worth depends on performance. Your peace depends on results. Your identity depends on approval. But when the ego aligns with the self, something stabilizes. You no longer live only to achieve. You begin to live to integrate. This is where many successful people resist. Because alignment requires surrender. Not giving up success, but giving up the belief that success defines you. Carl Jung called this sacrificing the claim of the ego. It does not mean quitting your job. It does not mean rejecting ambition. It means releasing the idea that your value is measured by output. It means learning to sit in silence without needing to prove anything. For high achievers, this is uncomfortable. Because silence removes the structure that once held everything together. But Jung discovered something crucial. What feels like emptiness is often not absence. It is space. Space created when the ego stops filling every corner. Space where the self can speak. Jung himself encountered this during a profound crisis. At the height of his professional success, he experienced psychological collapse. Externally, his life looked complete. Internally, he felt lost. Instead of running from it, he descended into it. He documented his inner visions and dialogues in what became known as the Red Book. Jung discovered that meaning does not come from control. It comes from relationship. A relationship with your own inner world. This is where active imagination becomes essential. Active imagination is not fantasy. It is attention. You sit with the discomfort you've been avoiding, the emptiness, the restlessness, the sense that something is missing. Instead of fixing it, you listen. You allow images, emotions, and thoughts to arise, without judgment. And you ask a simple question. What do you need from me? Often, the answer is not dramatic. It may ask you to slow down, to reclaim a neglected part of yourself, to speak honestly, to set boundaries, to create without turning everything into performance. What we call emptiness is often the absence of authenticity. Modern life rewards function, not wholeness, productivity, not integration. And so the world fills with what you might call successful ghosts. People who have everything, except themselves. But this does not have to be your fate. Jung believed the discomfort you feel at the peak of success is an invitation, not to collapse, but to mature, to move from ambition to meaning, from performance to presence, from persona to self. This process is what he called individuation. Becoming who you actually are, not who you were rewarded for being. Individuation does not make life easier. It makes it more honest. You stop chasing fulfillment externally and start cultivating alignment internally. You still succeed. But success no longer owns you. You still achieve. But achievement no longer defines you. You become capable of holding power without being consumed by it. You become capable of silence without fear. This is the resolution of the success paradox. Not rejecting success, but transcending it. Using the ego as a tool, not a ruler. If this message resonates, pause for a moment. Ask yourself honestly, what part of me did success require me to abandon? What part of me is still waiting to be invited back? If you're finding value in this exploration, remember to like the video and subscribe. It helps this work reach others standing at the same invisible crossroads. The goal is not to achieve less. The goal is to live more completely, a life where success does not cost you your soul, where ambition and meaning are no longer enemies. Carl Jung believed that when the ego steps back, the self steps forward. And when that happens, life stops feeling empty. Not because you gained more, but because you finally came home to yourself. Thank you for being here with me. Take care of your heart. And may love always guide your path.